dangerousness laws have been developed since the 1800s. For example, the Transportation Act, laws around executions and floggings. In 1889, in the state of New South Wales, Australia, the Correctional Services Director won support for the prison term of offenders to be progressively increased for each time a crime was repeated. In the 21st century, these mechanisms are still used. This postmodern era in which these laws developed occurred at such a rapid pace. We see that throughout the 1990s and 2000s. As covered and defined in Topic 1, the postmodern era of the function of the administration of risk is symbolised by three current penal practices: incapacitation, preventative detention and profiling. And as we've come to know, this is what we call actuarial justice, as opposed to retributive justice. However, we have to acknowledge that there are ethical dilemmas associated with actuarial justice. For example, detaining someone for something they may do in the future. 2. The amount of state control in our lives as a result of this approach. And further to these ethical dilemmas, other considerations need to be taken into account. For example, can the dangerousness of offenders fully be managed and implemented? Is there accuracy with who we classify as dangerous and non-dangerous? And what's the reality of that? And third, if such offenders are so dangerous, why are we considering managing them in the community in the first place? For example, if we take into the account the utilitarian approach of the greatest good for the greatest number. Some of these dilemmas are answered via practical implications, for example, the cost, the ethical implications, the accuracy and confidence. While some who are deemed the most dangerous would not fit into the lock 'em up and throw away the key mentality, so we need to be able to manage them through another mechanism. Therefore, community supervision is necessary. So how is this done? Well, in 2009, Considine and Birch identified three approaches to managing offenders in the community: scientific, through the risk assessment tools available to us; administration, through the laws, policies and practices that govern the management of offenders in the community, such as sex offender registration policies and practices; and finally security, through the introduction of technology, surveillance practices such as electronic monitoring and tagging.